here to catch up, to bear witness to what we missed out on in the WTL. Here we go again, the World Team League. It is the most premier team league out there in StarCraft. Pro League has been, of course, long gone, and this is the, in a way, successor of Pro League. WTL is a big event here for all the big teams to take part in, and there are plenty of teams seeded into Code S. And last week, we went over the qualifiers to determine who makes it into Code A. And we're here. We're here with Code A. You can see the bracket before you. We have the Starving Camels SSLT at the very top, followed by Berserker eSports, Club NV, Team Gosu, Toast Fairy, there we go, Toast Fairy as well, and many other teams. You can see the matches here for you tonight. We have two series. We have the Starving Camels versus Berserker and Club NV versus Team Gosu. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. I'm here for it. I am ready for it. Again, the Starving Camels, they are a team relegated to Code A from Code S from last season. And we have all these other teams that have been able to make their way through the qualifiers to make it into this main event. The Starving Camels, unfortunately, they lost a lot of their key members. The Starving Camels, they were a favored team back in the day, but here we go. You can see the lineups here. We have TooDming, Silky, and Espor going up against GunGFuBanDa, DNS, and BattleB. Now, in the interim, in the off-season between seasons of WTL, there have been a lot of roster changes. A lot of roster changes here. Players have been switching from teams to teams to teams, and the Starving Camels lost some players. They lost Firefly. Firefly joined offside, and Firefly was the Starving Camels' ace player. Starving Camels, they also lost Cyan. Cyan, he joined Mystery Gaming. Their two key players have since left them, so the Starving Camels, they're starving a little bit more than usual. They are suffering a little bit more here, but here we go. We're diving into the first game, and in the bottom left-hand corner of Post Youth, we do have TooDming for SSLT. And in the top right, we have GunGFuBanDa for Berserker eSports. Here we go. Berserker versus the Starving Camels. Oh boy, so again, the Starving Camels, they've lost a lot of key players. They still have TooDming and Silky. I would say now Silky has to rise to the challenge, and Silky is the new ace player for the Starving Camels. TooDming, likewise, is his right hand, and we'll see if they can keep up with Berserker. Berserker eSports have leveled up quite a lot. Basically, all of their players that they're fielding tonight are new players that they have acquired over that off-season. GunGFuBanDa is a big name. He is a beast in the European region. Likewise, DNS was the ace player of the Platinum Heroes. DNS has switched from the Platinum Heroes to Berserker eSports. He has been poached. He has hopped over to a new team. So DNS is going to be a big acquisition here for Berserker. Again, taking the ace player from the Platinum Heroes. So, yeah, that's merely only a handful of changes that have occurred, and we can get into some of these other changes as the series does progress. Meanwhile, we're getting into this, and this is a best of 2. Overall, it's a best of 7 between the teams, but it is comprised by best of 2s individually. TooDming versus GunGFuBanDa. Game 1 is on Post Youth. Game 2 is loser's pick. Whoever loses this series will be able to pick the second map. Now, Post Youth, as we have seen in the past, is a very interesting map, has a free natural base. The natural is a pocket in the main base here for our players, so this does allow for some greedier play. It does allow you to be a lot more economic and cut some corners early on just to be that much crazier in how you want to boost yourself into the mid game. We'll see if that's going to be the case here, as we see TooDming going for his Hatch Gas full standard opener, likewise GunGFuBanDa going for a gate expand into his cyber core. Nothing too crazy here, standard openers for the time being. We'll see where this leads us though, as again, GunGFuBanDa is a little bit more of an enigma, a little bit, as he pops up from time to time. It's so crazy. Like, I think he popped up like a couple weeks ago, and he just rocked up and just took down Skillus, for example, in an ESL Open Cup. Like, GunGFuBanDa, he's an amazing player, but he's not the most consistent of players, unfortunately. Not the most consistent of players, and because of that, GunGFuBanDa, he can be really hard to read. He can look amazing, or he can kind of fall on its face. You know, it's very hit and miss here with GunGFuBanDa. We'll see which flavor of GunGFuBanDa we get here tonight. But now it's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council opener here out of GunGFuBanDa. Ooh, interesting here in a PvZ. This could be Glaive Adepts. This could lead into a Dark Shrine. This could even go into another weird direction as well. The two most common openers are going to be either DTs or Glaive Adepts. They are not all-ins by any means. They can transition out of this. We can transition. There it is. Glaives is on the way, but we have not pulled out a gas. Interesting. You can see here that gas is being mined 3 and 3, which means we might invest into additional gas geysers. Oh, sorry, we might invest into additional gateways. Basically, we have 3 gates. There we go. 4 gates for the time being. We could throw down a 5th and 6th gateway, or we can throw down a Dark Shrine. And there it is. There's a 5th gateway on the way. And we may as well throw down a 6th as well. So we are doubling down. This is the beginning. So a 2-base all-in from GunGFuBanDa. Much more committed than your typical and usual 4-gate blink. Oh, interesting. Okay, so my apologies. This is a really weird one. We're getting up to 5 gateways. We do have additional gateways, true, but there's no robo. No robo, no warp prism. Very interesting here. Okay, so this is gonna be an interesting opener just because we should be expanding. We can see the probe moving out, so we're taking a 3rd base because we did not invest into that robo. But regardless, like, this is still going to be quite committed here. And yeah, the leagues, they do slip in. Big scouts. Big moment here for TooDming. He gets into the main base. He sees all the gateways. He does confirm the Twilight Council researching. He's aware of the Glaive Adepts. He should be getting ready back at home. Roach Warren is already in production. And with that, we should be able to mass roaches, lings, and defend against this push. Now, thankfully for GunGFuBanDa, he's not all in. Thankfully, you know, he can, of course, pivot away from this and get into a more economic follow-up here. He already has a 3rd base, so, you know, he already has that going for him at least. But we'll see how this all does come together as they do get across the map. Ooh, gonna be dancing here with the queens, threatening a shade towards the main base. Lings are able to keep up. We do commit to the shade. We do commit to the shade here, and lings are going to be cleaned up. And Defsam trying to make their way into the mineral line. Roaches are going to be able to shut them down, though. Yeah, we managed to get 1 to maybe 2 drone kills here. Yeah, 2 drones, and not too much at all. I do apologize for some of the frame drops that we've been seeing, but I think that has to do with the clean feed itself. That is outside of our control, unfortunately. I can see here we have 0 drop frames, just a little bit of latency with the clean feed, but hopefully it does clear up. Hopefully it does clear up as the event does progress. The fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I have confirmation here from some of the other casters that the clean feed was lagging a little bit. But here we go. We have lings getting across the map. They do actually get on top of the shield battery. Shield battery is going to be going down. TooDming actually accomplishing quite a bit here, able to get on top of the army. Roaches have arrived. We do have slow lots here to defend. Yeah, the zealots, they do arrive here, but again, we have too many roaches, too many lings. It looks like we should be able to break through. Yeah, no shield battery, no overcharge, and TooDming with this big counterattack, punishing the build of GunGFuBanDa. Again, it was, what was it, 5 gates at depths, and we forced a recall into the main base. Bleeding out far too much, and the 3rd of GunGFuBanDa, it's going to be going down. Even the queens made it. We didn't need them. The queens are racing back home, but they got here nonetheless. Just for some moral support, as the 3rd has been broken. And just like that, GunGFuBanDa, he is in a world of hurt. Oh, the wall! We do have a shield battery, sorry, we do have a force field at least. Shield battery's on the way. TooDming, he won't be able to break the ramp, but he doesn't need to. From here, you can see in the production tab, TooDming is droning. TooDming is happily droning up from this point. He's happily droning, working towards a gold base. Taking up into lair tech, going for the Bailey Nest as well. All that TooDming has to do is contain GunGFuBanDa on 2 bases. Doesn't need more than that. And again, the build of choice from GunGFuBanDa was just so quirky, it was so weird, and I kind of want to see kind of where it led us, but we can see here that TooDming is going to be able to shut it down completely. Going for the probe. Or trying to at least. The probe does manage to get away. The wall. Redu wall off just in time. The Red Ravager trading with the main army. Not the best trade here for TooDming, but lings, they are able to close the distance. They get on top of this. Roaches are going down. Zealots are going to be going down. And TooDming once again is breaking this position, and again, I don't see a world where GunGFuBanDa can expand. Like, taking this third base is going to be so difficult for him. Yeah, we focus down the pylon. Never mind, the pylon does actually finish, or does keep the warp in going. GunGFuBanDa, he is going to be able to hold on. But behind this, TooDming, he's amassing lings, amassing roaches, upgrades are on the way, bailing speed as well. TooDming is still looking quite comfortable. Still looking quite comfortable. I'm just catching up with the chat. Catching up. Oh, hello, amigo, hello. No spoilers. Yes, no spoilers in the chat. True. As things, they are gonna fail getting back into the main base. We are able to wall off in time. Good defense here by GunGFuBanDa. Meanwhile, across the map, the Adept Harass actually getting quite a lot done as well. 8 drones fall alongside 9 probes. We do trade blow for blow there. Trade a blow for blow, but again, TooDming, you can see him just excel here in army supply. Like, GunGFuBanDa is being left further and further behind, and honestly, this is a pretty good start here for the Starving Camels. I was concerned coming into this. I had faith in Silky to lead the charge, but the rest of the Starving Camels, the rest of SSLT, they do need to step it up here in the absence of Firefly, in the absence of Cyan. And against a player like GunGFuBanDa, I was concerned that we wouldn't be able to hold a candle, at least not without Silky. But TooDming, he's more than proving his worth. Showing that mage, you can't just like freestyle your opener and try to, you know, throw whatever you can against the wall to see what sticks. As TooDming, he is good enough to punish you. And you can see here TooDming on the cusp of maxing out. Is going to be able to max out from here. We do see GunGFuBanDa trying to go for some Adept Harass across the map. But last TooDming, he is going to be able to dive on top of this. Baileys don't quite commit, not yet. Good positioning here for GunGFuBanDa. Even with a supply deficit, he is going to be able to take a bit of a more efficient fight. Yeah, as he gets 7 more drone kills across the map. Nice economic damage. TooDming actually dropping down to 49 drones. Ay. Dropping down to 49 workers. Baileys are looking to roll in. We do have the overcharge. And with the help of this overcharge, can we hold on? There's still just too many roaches. There's too much Zerg on the ground. The Archons, they're putting in a lot of work. The overcharge as well. As we have 4 shield batteries in position. But even with that, we are barely breaking through those Archons. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 of them go down. The Archons are falling. And the Stalkers are going to be able to defend for now, but this is still just too much damage, too many losses. Too much of a deficit here for GunGFuBanDa. Ay. And from here, with these reinforcements from TooDming, he should be able to break the back of GunGFu. I mean, he does have him all on the way. He does have potentially an overcharge getting reset. But, again, it's just a numbers game at this point. Only a matter of time. There's that overcharge that we spoke about, barely keeping that Immortal alive. I mean, hey, GunGFuBanDa, he holds, technically. Does lose 21 probes, but does hold on. And now TooDming, he's going to have to build that up again. Work towards another big army before pulling the trigger. He's remaxing. He has the gold base. And GunGFuBanDa is going to have to rebuild all those shield batteries. Set himself up once again. Now, to be fair, TooDming, if he wanted to try to extend his lead, then I would advise going into Hive Tech. Taking up into Hive, going for Vipers, going for Lurker Tech as well. For now, TooDming, he's staying on Ling Main Road Ravager, which is concerning. It does mean that, again, he doesn't have the most efficient army, and he's going to be just ramming his face against this wall. And potentially, GunGFuBanDa could, you know, survive a little bit longer as a result. We'll see, though, as GunGFuBanDa is moving out. Pushing towards the right-hand side. And this is just a bold, this is a crazy move out here from GunGFuBanDa. There is no War Prism, there's no juggling here whatsoever, and he's going to be throwing this army away. Yeah, Immortals are going down. We do manage to get a couple of SCV kills, a couple of drone kills even. But we're punishing this, shutting down these Archons, chasing them down one after the other. And alas, GunGFuBanDa, he's gonna have to turn back around, come back home, and now he's turtling again. Let's go. Let's go. After this game, I'll see if I can fix anything on my end, but from my understanding, the way this works is that the clean feed was lagging as this was being broadcasted live, and this isn't like a local recording, so the latency that was experienced during the live broadcast is also there during the VOD as well. The VOD doesn't magically clear it up. That's not how VODs work for Twitch or for YouTube, which is a shame. It is a bit of a shame. Obviously, if the SC Boy production team had a local recording, then that would be okay. But they typically don't, you know, upload local recordings or anything like that. We do have to rely on the clean feed instead. So I do apologize for the kind of frame drops that are being seen, and again, the latency of the issues that are being seen here. But hopefully it does clear up over the course of the broadcast. Hopefully it does clear up, as we do see TooDming pushing in once again. Gets a pylon, trades with the army. You can see TooDming, he's about to max out. And this entire game essentially has been GunGFuBanDa fighting to hold on to his third, fighting for survival here. And I mean, hey, he's been living, he's been surviving. You know, there's still a pulse for sure. Again, you can trade quite efficiently here, as Banelings are rolling in once again, trying to get past the army. Lings, they collapse here on the Archons and the Immortals, and finally it looks like TooDming, he has enough to break through, to break the back of GunGFuBanDa. GG gets called, and TooDming will take game number 1. So regardless of how this goes, we'll see if GunGFuBanDa can bounce back. And here we go. In the bottom right hand corner, we have TooDming for the Starving Camels, and in the top left hand corner, we have for Berserker eSports, GunGFuBanDa. Here we go, and as we get into this, a big shout out to the sponsors of WTL, Doyu, Piu Piu, Autofull, and Taidu as well. Big shout out to the sponsors. Without them, this event would not be possible, and the World Team League would not be around either, so thank you so much to the sponsors. Unfortunately, most of the sponsors are Chinese-based, as the event is held in China, so we can't really, you know, support them too much outside internationally, but regardless, a shout out to them nonetheless. As we are settling into game number 2. I also heard Lloyd was having a secret Sesame Street party who are all taking up the reign with true. Yo, the Sesame Street though. Hey, it slaps. Hi. Let's go. As this is going to be a hatch gas pull from TooDming, nothing too crazy, force to take the unnatural natural. Really my eyes are going to be on GunGFuBanDa. I'm very curious to see how he does adjust, how he does divert his play, whether he goes for another Twilight Council or for something entirely different. That's what I'm mainly keeping my eye out for. So we shall see. So for now, we do have our setup here on the way. Cybercore is about to finish up. With the completion of the Cybercore, we can get into our tech of choice, whether it's a Stargate or a Twilight Council or even a Robo-based opener. I am a little bit unfamiliar with the playstyle of GunGFuBanDa. Like, again, I catch him every now and then, like once a year, you know, once a couple of times a year even. So I'm always excited to see where he is at, how he does evolve over time. And there we go, we have our tech of choice. It is a Stargate. This time, no Twilight Council. Okay. Now, just because it's a Stargate opener does not mean it's going to be a standard game. I mean, it's a standard build so far, true, but this can lead into a Void Ray-based opener, it can lead into Phoenixes, it can lead into Sky Toss. There is a lot available here for GunGFuBanDa. Is a lot available. But now we do see TooDming investing into a couple of extra lings. It's going to be to keep up with the Adepts. Speaking of, we do have a handful of them sneaking out across the map, trying to get a scout off. And it looks like they will manage to slip into that natural base. And we're actually not stopping link production. TooDming is going for a link flood. Oh my god, TooDming, he's cutting workers here at 23. We are flooding links across the map one way or another. The game is about to end. We do see a couple of Adepts shading into the main. Drones are going down. Late reaction out of TooDming. A lot of damage being dealt here, but Lings, they have arrived. And we're sending everything across them. We got 5 drone kills, not insignificant. We do creep with the economy here of TooDming, but he was all in anyway. Lings, they have arrived. Oracle is going to be able to help out. Lings, they do flood in though. The wall is wide open. The wall is not a wall, but do we have enough Lings? I don't think we do. We get into the main base. Probes are fighting. Again, the Oracle adding so much here to the defense. But the Oracle is out of NG. We're going for the Cyber Core. We're going for the Pylon even. Oh my god. We're not going to get it. And it feels like TooDming, he's just running out of steam here. Gets the Pylon. Depowers the Stargate. He will get the Cyber Core as well. Cyber Core does go down. I mean, with that, we can't warp in any more Adepts. No Adepts and no Oracles. We only have the one Oracle. We only have the one Adept. Shield batteries are finishing. TooDming, can we still pull this off? We're going for the gateway. We're going for the gateway here. We're trying to at least. Shield batteries are keeping these zealots alive. We might have an overcharge as well. The gateway is going to fall. Oh, we do break in. And we managed to bypass that wall. We head into the main base. And more probes are going down. TooDming, has he done it? Behind this TooDming, he's droning. TooDming is droning up. Still has a handful of Lings in the main. Not enough to end the game, but enough to get a couple more probes. Keep GunGFuBanDa on the back foot. Getting more workers here at the natural. Still only 10 worker kills in total. And as the dust does settle, TooDming, he's on 35 drones against the 30 probes of GunGFuBanDa. Oh boy. On top of that, the Stargate is still depowered. There's no Twilight Council, there's no Forge, there's no Robo, there's no tech at all here for GunGFuBanDa because of all the lost mine time. I have to give the edge to TooDming here. Unless GunGFuBanDa can pop off with these Oracles, unless he can kill some drones, TooDming, he should be able to hold his own. There we go. Oracles making their way towards the main base. Spores, they need a couple more seconds. They need a little bit more time. Spores, they do finish. We got 4 drone kills in the main. Very nice damage. The Spore at the natural still not done either. We get 6 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. We do manage to get 6 drones. The Oracles to get the hell out of there. Now we have a transition. We're going for a gateway explosion. GunGFuBanDa yet to expand, but he's going for Blink. Going for Blink, and we should soon be seeing a third base. But again, this is just such a weird game state. It is going to be such a weird game state here, where GunGFuBanDa, he's still kind of limping into his 3-base setup, and likewise, so is TooDming. Yeah, the game is kind of settling down from here. And again, neither player has anything major going on in their way. Like, Lair is still on the way for TooDming, Roach Warren as well. Likewise, GunGFuBanDa is still working towards his Forge, working towards Blink. I don't really think either player has enough to be too aggressive either. I mean, sure, there are Lings, and they're going for the third. They're going for the third base, and GunGFuBanDa is out of position, by the way. Blink is not done. He's racing back home. We should force a cancel. TooDming, he gets a full surround, and he will cancel the third. Big pick up. Does cancel the third base, and behind this, GunGFuBanDa still just trying to get to his own Blink. Stuck at home. TooDming, he's looking good. He's looking strong, Bob. And that's dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, after Berserker eSports picked up GunGFuBanDa, I think I would have placed GunGFuBanDa as the ace player for Berserker. It's hard to say, do I rate GunGFuBanDa higher than DNS? It's a hard call. It's a hard call just because of how inconsistent GunGFuBanDa is, but yeah, TooDming, he's in control right now. We do have additional oracles hitting the field. Alright, TooDming, he's pushing. Do you see there on the production tab? We have Dropper Lords on the way for the Queens. Roach Speed about to kick in. TooDming. TooDming, he is going for a 3-base push. He's looking to end the game here and now. Going for the kill. I'm not so sure if he needs to, but he is going for it. He's sending it, Papi. He is sending it across the map. We do have an Arc Shrine on the way, but it just now started. There won't be DTs to defend. There won't be Dark Templar. We're collapsing on the army. Last GunGFuBanDa is going to be able to hold on. Creep is spreading. Quite a bit of it. And with that, we can transfuse. We have anti-air as well. Ravagers are still on the way. TooDming just parked outside the base, beating out Lings. We will have an overcharge for GunGFuBanDa. Stage Trap is going to be going up, but just the one. And just the one stage. There's the overcharge for GunGFu. He's going to be able to hold on. Does force back the army. But once the overcharge runs out, then TooDming can break him. Yeah, bars are going to be thrown down. Going for the shield battery. Overcharge runs out. Lings, they're flooding in. GunGFuBanDa, his blinks are good. He's preserving his army, but it's just a numbers game at this point. There's just too much Zerg. Here come the DTs. Where's the detection? Where are those overseers as the DTs are going ham? They're cleaning up all the Ravagers. Ravagers are going down, and GunGFuBanDa, he holds. Oh my god. 3 overseers on the way, but they're not going to finish as we have Stalkers just focusing them down. Ay, ay, ay. A rough moment there for TooDming. 1 overseer does barely finish. But those are some rough losses for TooDming. He lost so many Ravagers. Again, the Invisible Man was a little bit too good, but we're still just rallying across the map. We're still just trying to force the issue here. I feel like TooDming, though, he's running out of steam. Yeah, he's running out of steam. He has to pull back. TooDming, he fails to break it. GunGFuBanDa, and now TooDming, he's in a lot of trouble. He's down in workers, now down in tech. GunGFuBanDa has +1. He's got Immortals. He's got Archon potential as well. He's on 57, or he's on, sorry, 64 probes even. And TooDming, he made this choice. If he wanted to, he could have just taken another base, macroed up, and gone ahead that way. He could have just teched on up even further, but he went for the all-in instead, and the all-in did fail. And now GunGFuBanDa, looking good. Is bouncing back in this. Again, TooDming has a lot of droning to do. He has a lot of droning to do right now. He needs more bases as well. There we go, he's taking a 5th. 5th hatchery's on the way. +1 just now begins for TooDming. 4th base is on the way for GunGFuBanDa. That is dangerous. And TooDming ideally needs to deny that 4th, but I don't think he can. He just doesn't have an army for it. Yeah, GunGFuBanDa, he's just running away with this. Taking his 4th base. Taking up into +2, charge, more Immortals, Templar Archives on the way for the Protoss. TooDming, how do we bounce back here? What I will say is that it looks like the clean feed is clearing up. Like, the stuttering that we had in Game 1, it isn't here anymore. It was here at the beginning of Game 2, but... Maybe I'm jinxing myself. True. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I shouldn't... Oh, it's looking... I can't see anything. Oh my god. It's a PowerPoint presentation, Papi. Smurge. Aye. But yeah, thankfully it's looking better. So it looks like if there were latency issues, it was only at the start of the broadcast. Oh no! I spoke too soon! Did you see that? No! Spoke too soon. Regardless, TooDming has to back off. He is maxed out on 74 workers. On 74 workers here. Maxing out on Lingbane Roach Ravager, not the most efficient of armies. Now, the name of the game here is TooDming has to break, and GunGFuBanDa, all he has to do is defend. Survive! And he will be able to outscale TooDming as the game goes on. Things are pulling in. Good storm! Ooh, big! Oh my god, so many links go down. Massive storms. Big stasis here on the Bailings as well. GunGFuBanDa, he is holding. Big storm once again on the army. Oh my god. TooDming, he takes the storm to the face. And GunGFuBanDa's ahead. He's done it. He survived the attack. Despite the supply deficits. Bailings go for the High Templar. Oh! Ooh, would you get two of them? Make the best out of a bad situation there. 2 High Templar go down. So good trade from TooDming. But now he's behind in the economy. And +2 is kicking in. We have +3 on the way for GunGFuBanDa. Aye. And again, as the army supplies are evening up, the problem here is that the quality of the army is just so much more in favor of TooDming. Sorry, of GunGFuBanDa. TooDming, he's falling further behind. We have SkyToss on the way. We have the Stargate, Fleet Beacon, ready for carriers. Aye. GunGFuBanDa getting ready for the late game. Getting ready for yeah, just a 5-base setup, a 6-base setup even. The 5th is going to be denied. The problem here is that TooDming has nothing that shoots up. He has no Hydrogen, he has no Spire, no Hydras, no Corruptors. He is not ready for SkyToss. The longer this goes on, the better it is for GunGFuBanDa. And he is maxed. He is maxed out. Oh, that is a lot of Bailings though. We're going for the bases. We're trying to. Stage Trap going to be going up. Bailings, they are intercepted. No connections here from TooDming. Bailings are getting shut down. Likewise, GunGFuBanDa. Getting that Prism into the main. Doesn't really have the supply for much of a warp in, but there we go. A-Zelts across the map. Carrier production has commenced. Bailings once again, they're going for the mineral line. High Templar go down. Big pickups. And 26-28. Oh my god. No reaction out of GunGFuBanDa, and TooDming, he cripples the economy. 30 probe kills. As he kills 30 workers, though, we get a big Zealot warp in into the main base. We are wreaking havoc, forcing back the main army. But TooDming, he will defend. And suddenly GunGFuBanDa gets knocked down to 47 workers. But he has carriers on the way. Carrier production underway. We have +1 air attack finishing up as well. Shields on the horizon here for GunGFuBanDa. And he's pushing out. God, there are so many immortals. Big storm here in the mineral line. There we go. We try to collapse on this. Storm once again on the Ling Bane. GunGFuBanDa's holding his own. The carriers have been revealed. And what is the answer? We need some tech here. Ideally a Spire, but Hydrogen does finish faster. There we go. Vipers are on the way. I mean, that does help. I see in chat, TooDming's name I haven't heard in a long time. I think I remember Husky back in Wings of Liberty. TooDming has been around for a very long time. That is true. That is true. TooDming, Jim, Top, Sugla. Has been going to be for a long time. Here we go. We do see TooDming once again laying siege on that base. Carriers have been revealed. They do push in. We do have how many? 3 carriers. Oh, big storms here on the Ravagers as well. Massive storms on the Ravagers, and the Ravagers, they melt. TooDming, his main army just crumbles before the Sky Toss, and GunGFuBanDa, he has the death ball that he's been working towards. A death ball of a Protoss army, and the Vipers, he kills his own base. No, not like this. The base goes down. GG gets called, and GunGFuBanDa, he claws his way back in and ties it up 1-1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. We are tied up 1-1 here in this Team League match, and I'll be honest, TooDming almost 2-0'd. He almost 2-0'd. He had such a massive advantage here in this game. After his Link Flood, he was able to get a little bit ahead. I mean, it was a very scrappy start to the game is what I will say. TooDming, it did feel like he came out ahead out of it, but after his failed all-in at the third, GunGFuBanDa was getting in the driver's seat. You know, he was able to survive, get his third, get his fourth base, tech up, max out, get into Sky Toss, and TooDming was not ready for a longer game, not ready for the late game at all. GG, well played. We have a series. We have a series. As a reminder, this was a best of 2. TooDming and GunGFuBanDa, they end their series with a tied 1-1 score, and now we move on to Silky versus DNS. Let's go. Silky, of course, I would say the ace player of the Starving Camels. He is the new ace player here. He's going to be stepping it up as our Zerg hope. And I just realized that the Starving Camels, they have a full Zerg team. They used to be Protoss, now full Zerg. Oh boy, how times have changed. And there it is. We're getting ready for game number 1 on Dynasty. DNS, as I mentioned, he was the ace player of the Platinum Heroes last season, but DNS has left the Platinum Heroes and he has found a new home with Berserker eSports. Oh boy. And you could make an argument that DNS is now the new ace player of Berserker. I would say DNS or GunGFuBanDa. It's hard to say which one is in better form, but I do rate DNS quite highly here. I also rate Silky quite highly, so the best of the best. The best of the best here on their respective teams are facing off on Dynasty. Let's go. Let us go. As we are settling on in, and in the top right hand corner we do have DNS for Berserker eSports, and in the bottom left we had Silky for the Starving Camels. Here we go. Again, I was just making sure that that the quality was looking a little bit better here. I do apologize for the fuzzy look that it had before, but hopefully things look a little bit better as we are getting into our second best of 2 of this series. For the time being, we're tied up 1-1, and we're loading into Dynasty. Dynasty, of course, one of the newer maps in the map pool, has a pocket gold base, which is crazy, by the way. The pocket base is a gold, and Silky is going for a hatch first. Sorry, is going for a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Very safe opener here out of Silky. DNS, what kind of opener are we going to be going for? How do we punish the gold base of the Zerg? As you can imagine, in the early game with the depths, with Stalkers as well, with Oracle Harass, this gold base can be difficult to actually hold on to as a Zerg player, so I'm curious how we plan to go about it. I'm quite curious here. As we do see Silky essentially going for a delayed gas, but is now getting into it. Again, 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool into a delayed gas geyser. With this, he could opt to skip link speed. Does have that option available as he maynards over and takes the goal base as his own. Team Zerg, the starving Zerglings. Oh, give them some food, Pappy. Give them some food. Smoke. Oh, no CP time chill music this season. Yo, the music last season was wild. I get what you're saying. Like, they had like some elevator like pop music that was very, very lo-fi. I don't know, it was weird. It was a weird kind of weird music that they played in between matches. Like, we'd be like in this really hype moment, and then it's like dun dun dun. it's like Bappy, we're popping up. What's going on? It didn't really fit the tone, is what I will say. Did not fit the tone of how hype and how intense a lot of these matches were. Regardless, Lings are moving out, trying to be active, trying to make sure that we are able to keep the adepts back at home, as DNS is going for his own natural expansion. The Zerg team versus Berserker eSports. They don't even... They didn't even have a Zerg player fielded. What do you mean? They have 2 Protoss and a Terran. Aye. Shaking my head, Einstein. Shaking my head. It's okay. It reminded me fondly of GOM TV. True. Let's go. As we see Silky sending his things across the map, trying to knock down that front door. At the same time, Adepts, they do get across the map towards the goal base. We do commit to the shade, though. GNS turning around. Wow, this league run by buying so much time for Silky, saving his mineral line, forcing the army back home. And the Lings, they don't break in, but they do save the mineral line here, save the economy of Silky. As the more Lings are moving out. Behind this is taking his third base, he's going to be droning. Ooh, even force DNS to fully wall off as well. As Silky is making his way in. But doesn't quite catch any of those adepts. Not this time. As you see, the game just calming down from here. Silky droning up as best he can. Likewise, DNS saturating his own gold. Now, the power here for Protoss, or the strength here that other races have on this map, is that without roaches, Silky cannot actually punish the gold base. Like, he only has Lings and Banelings to work with. Like, he can't really get into that mineral line. The natural is safe and sound for DNS. Cannot say the same for Silky. Yeah, you can see here the Lings, they can only look upon the mineral line. No touching. Cannot harass those workers. As instead we rotate around towards the third base, we have Adepts in position, we have an Oracle as well. Yeah, DNS, he will be able to hold on. Does shut this down. As we have our tech of choice, Silky is going to be going to roaches, as we mentioned. It is going to be a way for him to, you know, apply some pressure to the gold. Behind this DNS getting into his Oracle production as well. Triple Oracle, into +1 Blink. Standard setup here from DNS, despite the chaotic nature of the start of this game. But the Oracles are able to, try to punish this mineral line. 1 Oracle goes down for 5 drones. Not the worst trade, but I'm sure DNS was hoping to keep that Oracle alive. Silky is sending his Lings across the map once again. And Silky, typically a very aggressive player in the mid to late game. Not really known for his late game prowess. Silky thrives in the mid game instead, and has been semi-successful with this harassment, with these Lings. He's achieved a little bit. I do want to favor DNS a little bit more though here, as he's fully establishing himself here on 3 bases. Once Blink kicks in, he can be more active on the map. Until then, DNS is stuck at home, and Silky, he's free to expand and free to drone. Getting into his roaches. It was definitely not the right speed for StarCraft. It wasn't. It was very jarring. Very jarring. But it was fun. It was fun. As a Blink is finishing up, it's finishing up in a couple of seconds, +1 as well. DNS is going to be pushing, and he's going right for the gold mineral line. As we did mention, is a very abusable position. Silky trying to come in from behind, trying to flank the army. And the boys are being pulled away. We do deny any kind of mining here at the gold base. Do deny mining. Silky, he's supply block with 5 overlords in production. Brutal there. And from here, we may force a recall back home. Or we could even blink into the base. Roach counterattack looking to hit that 4th. Actually headed for the gold base instead. And do we go for that recall? Do you have a small warping available? The hatchery taking a lot of hits. Looks like DNS, he wants that hatchery first before turning around. Does end up losing one of those one of those oracles. But yeah, he does get the base. From here, we can come back home and deal with these roaches. There we go. There's that recall. We leave one stalker. No! Do leave one stalker behind, but we do get a surround of these roaches. Big catch here from DNS. Yeah, there's no way out of this. The roaches, they're trapped. We go back to mining and we clean up this army. A big loss there for Silky. As Silky is trying to build up with Lingbane Roach Ravager. I guess knocked down to 3 bases. Silky, he's in a bit of trouble here. He's risking it all going for a Spire. We have Mutas on the way. Spire is done, Mutas are on the horizon against Mass Blink Stalker. There's potential for Silky, but it's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy here. As the Spire has yet to be scattered, Storm is finishing up. It's halfway done. Silky being active. Here come those Mutas. Doesn't have too many, I believe 7 Mutas in total. Is enough to one-shot. Can a one-shot workers looking to go for that natural base. At the same time, Silky does once again hit that gold. He's going for the mineral line. Does force the overcharge as well. DNS responding with his entire army. Does catch the Ravagers, but at the same time, here comes Mutas right for the natural base. And DNS, he's out of position. Completely out of position. Lings, they flood into the mineral line. Shield battery and cannon go down. And so do the probes. And Silky just distracting and pulling DNS apart. The Mutas themselves haven't done too much. We get 20 probes. Oh my god. We get 20 probe kills. And just like that, Silky takes a worker lead. Hive is on the way. Lingbane. Could be Lingbane into Ultra. With melee upgrades. Would make sense for Silky. But now still just amassing more Lings. Amassing more Lingbane. I was hoping for the Ultra Tech, but no, it is going to be Hydras instead. Unfortunately. It's going to be Lingbane Hydra into Lurker Tech, I imagine. Meanwhile, the gold base is wide open. Baileys are rolling on in. We crash into the mineral line. And we're going further in. And we have to commit. We're going for the 3rd. We're going for the gold. The main base has been evacuated. Bailey's trying to chase this down. DNS 1 step behind. Trying to keep up here with the harassment. We're going for the production. Going for the pylons. Not the best use of the Lingbane. We get 13 probe kills. And DNS will clean this up. That was a lot of army supply spent. But once again, DNS not where he needs to be. He's in the main. He's trapped in the main base. Forced to recall instead. Does recall in time. But again, Silky doing such a great job here just pulling his opponent apart. And there it is. Lurker dens are on the way. 2 of them. There's 2 Lurker dens. I imagine that's to get into Lurker upgrades as quickly as possible. Silky with a decent economy. And he's just amassing more Lings. Adrenal is on the way. And he is going for the 3rd. Takes out the Stalkers. Gets the Sentry as well. Again, really good trades here by Silky. DNS trying to keep up. And DNS, he has yet to move out across the map. He's been stuck at home the entire game. Or most of the game. Outside of the initial successful Stalker push, he's just been stuck at home, defending over and over again. Storm is done. And now we're pushing. Now, in a head-on fight, I have to favor DNS, except for the Lurkers. The Lurkers will complicate things, and they do arrive just in time for the push. Oh my god, Silky. Again, the Lurkers are ready here for the attack. As long as we're in position, we should be okay. God, that's a lot of storms. That is a lot of storms available. Yeah, Lurkers, they do burrow. They are in position. DNS, he can't push in. Here we go. Silky, he has maxed out. He's going to be avoiding the main fight, so skirting around the edge, going for the bases instead. Risky maneuver here out of Silky. But he does manage to get on top of this center base. The cannons are going down. Ling Bane rolling towards that mineral line as well, and we do outposition DNS. Again, he's stuck trying to push into Lurkers, and that's not going to happen. There are just too many Lurkers in position. And Silky, he's going to have to go for a base trade. Or how else do we approach this? How else can we approach this? He's going into Skytools, working towards Tempest. But it might be too little too late, as DNS is down to 36 probes. It is being pulled apart. We take control of the third base, and we're threatening the main. Here comes the ground army. Again, we can't push into the Lunkers. It's not going to happen. Aye, aye, aye. Not without immortals or disruptors or something more robust. And you can see here DNS just having a hard time pushing in. Oh, Stalker's gonna be going down. And yeah, we're just pushing in even closer, even further towards the main bases. High Templar goes down. Now Tempests have arrived. But it may not even matter. Like, the attack rate of Tempest is far too low. And the Lurkers, they've broken the main. They can't be the production. Tempest will eventually kill everything. But it's going to take far too long. Goes DNS, he is pushing ever closer. Does catch a couple of these Lurkers. Does manage to catch a couple of them. And again, this may not be the most efficient trade out of Silky, but he has the economy to sustain himself. He can afford some losses. He is replenishing his army, and DNS is not. As DNS is being forced further back. GG gets called. There's nothing left here for DNS, and Silky takes game number 1. See how this all does come together. Again, the players just getting their lobby set up, getting their match ready for us. And yeah, I mean, again, DNS, he isn't the fastest of players. Like, we've known this for quite some time, but once he gets the ball rolling, he can be hard to stop. And here we go, getting into the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura. We have Silky. In the top left, we have DNS for Berserker eSports. Here we go. And again, this map is DNS's map of choice, so really my eyes are on him to see what his plan is coming into this game. What I was getting at was that DNS, again, if he's able to get into a solid 4-base setup, if he's able to fortify his fringe bases as well, his main army engages can be terrifying. We've seen DNS even hold his own against Serral at times in the previous season of WTL. DNS did impress us quite a lot. But yeah, we saw that specifically on Dynasty, he was just having such a hard time keeping up with the movement and with the army positioning here of Silky was pulled apart. Hopefully we can time things up here. I want to believe. Do want to believe. Do want to believe. As for now, it's going to be a Hatchcast full standard opener out of Silky. Standard opener from our Zerg player. Meanwhile, across the map, DNS likewise going for a gate expand into a cyber core. Nothing too wild yet. As a reminder, once we wrap up with the series, we're going to be going over Team Gosu versus Club NV thereafter. So 2 best of 7s tonight. 2 best of 7s to end the night. Let's go. Unfortunately, oh god. Unfortunately, there is no player cams, but we should be getting player cams for the main event for Codes. Codes is where player cams are required. So we will be getting there. For now, though, we have our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of DNS. He does delay his Warp Gate to afford that. And it should be for Oracles. Again, DNS, he's not really a cheesy player. That's not the kind of player he is. Not cheesy, not overly aggressive. I imagine it's going to be triple Oracle into a third. As you can see, DNS being as annoying as possible, delaying the third. You know, Silky investing into a wave of Lings. Just to keep up with the Adept harass. Likewise, 2 Lings, they do slip in. And they should be able to get a scout of the main base. Yeah, they get eyes on the tech. They see and spot that Stargate. So Silky should be feeling pretty safe and pretty comfortable. As he is moving out with his Lings. He is moving out. Oracles are on the way. The wall is wide open, so we could try to slip in, but we can see now Silky is more concerned with delaying that third. Meanwhile, as the Lings are being active, the Adepts, they do get across the map. Do get across. They shade into the main base. 2 Adepts, they do one-shot drones. And we are getting worker kills. 2 drone kills so far. Lings, they do try to engage. But very nice positioning here with DNS. But he will be losing those Adepts. Meanwhile, the Oracle comes in. Where's the Spore? No Spore. Queens are busy in the main base. 6 drones go down. A good amount of damage dealt here by DNS. 6 worker kills. But can DNS hold on to that third? Remember, he lost 2 Adepts, which means he has that much less to defend his third. Lings have arrived. But they get here a little bit too late. Third base has been thrown down, and DNS will hold. Does hold. Silky has to back off and re-drone. DNS in a good position. He's got the worker lead. He's got the third base on the way. He's taking up into his Forge and his Twilight Council +1 and Blink. Things are looking up here for Protoss. Ooh, as I say that, we do catch a Stalker. Not bad. Nice little pick off there by Silky. Gets a Stalker, going for an Evo Chamber, working towards +1. I imagine melee, but we'll see if we go into range. As DNS is moving out with a handful of units, we have Oracles on the right, we have Adepts on the left. There it is, melee's on the way. So it does look like Ling Bane, Roach Ravager. There's that Baneling Nest. Actually, Baneling Nest before Roach Warren. This could be Ling Bane Hydra. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on the tech. We'll see if we do invest into the Roach Warren or if we head even further into additional gases. 3 drones do go down. I just realized do we not have a lair? Oh. 4th base is on the way, and Silky, he's investing quite heavily into these Lings. A lot of Lings are in production here. Baneling Nest is about to finish. Silky, he may try to bust the third base, and there it is. He's going for the bust. Is committed. Let's go here to break the third. Again, as a reminder, there's no other tech behind this. There's no lair either, not yet. Hatch tech here for Silky. He needs to get damage done. This does need to pay for itself. And we're rolling in. The army been out of position. Zealots, what can they do? Okay, they do shut down that pylon. Overcharge is wasted. Is depowered, and we have broken the third base. Oracles are racing back home. Probes are going down. Big baneling connections. Up, up. Show us. Big baneling connections here towards the end. The warp gate, the prism, sorry, actually does power up that shield battery. Only 8 workers go down, and we save the base. Oh my god, clutch moves there with the warp prism. The base is saved. We save most of the workers as well, and DNS he holds. And this is dangerous because look at the tech here of Silky. This is a 7-minute lair. Well, at 7 minutes the lair starts. So lair's on the way, Roach Warren's on the way. Silky, tech-wise, he's falling behind. Like, he's just stuck with Hatch Tackling Bane. And DNS is getting further ahead. Zealots have arrived. Banelings are still in production. We have Archons as well to soak up those Banelings, and we take control of the third base. How good are the connections? Pretty good. We do connect with the Zealots. Lings are amassing. Queens are pushing forward. It looks like Silky should be able to hold on, but he does take some losses. One Archon goes down. Does get an Archon, but we get 9 drone kills. We get a couple of Overlords. Supply blocking Silky. Is going to get supply blocked. Another Archon goes down. Bit of miscontrol there out of DNS. Silky, he does hold. But DNS is on 4 bases behind this and on 70 workers. More importantly, Immortals, Archons, +2. Like, DNS is nicely getting into the mid game, and Silky is still... Now it's his turn to be 1 step behind. Going for a big link counterattack, going for the 4th. He was hoping for a cancel, but he does have to back off. Does have to back off. DNS working wonders here with this Archon drop. Getting some tumors. Trading with the roaches. Or it gets 2 roaches even. Oh, a bit of miscontrol there. DNS, he does end up losing one of those Archons. That should not have happened. Rough loss there for the Protoss. But he still has an overwhelming army going for a big warp in. Pushing into a concave though. He cannot break that. Silky sneaks out another base as well on the right hand side. That is a 5th. It is vulnerable, but DNS hasn't spotted it. Hasn't seen the 5th base. Silky, he's holding. He's joining up to 70. Getting into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Meanwhile, for DNS, we have +3 attack on the way. As Silky starts +2. Yeah, Blink. Silky supply blocked once again. 5 Overlords in production at once. And these supply blocks have been brutal. But Silky, he looks like he has eyes on the 4th. Eyes on the 4th base. Big Zealot Warp in here at the 3rd. He's going for the hatchery. He's going for it, and it looks like he will get it. The hatchery does go down. Banelings, they crash into Archons. And the Banelings, what can they do? They do nothing. At the same time, did have a run by here towards the 3rd base. We got 6 probes. But DNS is holding. He does hold. Takes down the Banelings. And from here, DNS, even though the supplies are similar, really the quality of the army is just so much more in favor of DNS. We're waiting for his move out. Now we see Silky taking up towards Hive Tech, towards Hydras as well. But alas, he needs time. Silky desperately needs time right now, and DNS shouldn't be giving it to him. Yo, shout out to Ted's the TV. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? He really hates Archons. We did see a couple of Archons thrown away. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's happened a couple of times this game. Has happened a couple of times, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. As on, look at this death ball of an army. So many Archons and Immortals. Silky should soon be pushing. Oh, sorry, DNS should soon be pushing. And there it is. The move out is upon us. And Silky, he needs more time. He is in a world of hurt. We have Lurker Dens on the way, but they're not done yet. We'll be working with Ling Bane and Roach Hydra. Queens are going down. And can Silky somehow pull off a miracle defense? Does catch a couple of Archons. But the wave of Archons here is just overwhelming Silky. They're breaking on through. Good kiting here out of Silky. It looks like he's able to pick off potentially an Archon. Zelarama does distract some reinforcements. And here we go. DNS snowballing out of control, collapsing on the base. We're seconds away from the Lurker Den finishing, but it's too little too late. We needed the Lurkers minutes ago. Not here, not now. As 24 drones go down, and yeah, the death ball of this Protoss army, it cannot be stopped. Not by Silky. And GG gets caught. DNS, he fights back. And we did hear from TooDming and Silky, and they're happy, right? They're happy that their friends got picked up and scouted by bigger teams, and they're getting supported with a better salary, more than they could afford to give them. So it's definitely a good thing, but it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because obviously, I miss it too. Smooch. But here we go in the top left hand corner. We do have for the Starving Camels Espoir, and in the bottom right we have his opponent for Berserker eSports. It is BattleB. I'm having a hard time pronouncing it. Espoir? I'll call him Espoir. Aye. But it is in fact going to be a TVT, so it looks like it was a graphical area that we saw previously, where it showed a Zerg. But no, it is going to be a Terran instead, and we're loading into Site Delta. Let's go. Okay, so as we settle into this, for now, it looks like an economic opener. It looks like a Rax expand from our players here. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Gotta be double gas from both players as well. Okay, so double gas openers is gonna be leading into a faster factory from both BattleB and Espoir. Espoir? ESP? I don't. I'll get around to it. I'll get it. I'm sure. But yeah, we do have some pretty safe openers all around. Again, this is going to be leading into faster factory production. This could be leading into either faster Cyclones or Reaper Hellion. Either or is on the table. As we're settling into our TVT. Again, TVT is a matchup that has been impacted quite a bit by the new patch. The Cyclone isn't what it once was, and going mass Cyclone isn't as viable in TVT as it once was either. Doesn't mean that we're not going to be seeing any Cyclones. Cyclones that still have their role early on, defensively. Like a handful of Cyclones is always a good thing. But massing Cyclones, that's not really seen too often anymore. Here we go. As there's a command centers on location for both players. Again, the factories have been prioritized, and we'll see what initial units we do embrace from both players. Okay, it's going to be Cyclones here. So far, mirrored builds from both our Terrans. No Reaper Hellion, it is just going to be Reaper into Cyclones. Just a very safe way to open up. I'm ready. I'm excited. Getting into our starports. Really, I'm just trying to keep an eye on any kind of deviation from either player. For now, everything looks as it should. Everything looking normal. Reapers, they do get across the map. We do try and disrupt that CC, but we do zone away those Reapers. BattleB not disrupted whatsoever. Command center still building. And Esquire has to pull back. Espoir? Espear? Espanol? Espanol? Oh, let's go. Oh, God. Aha. I don't usually have issues with player names. I don't know what it is, but this, like, this collaboration of letters, it's hurting me. It's hurting my tongue. Oh, no. Espoir? French for hope. Oh, let's go. Yo, thank you so much. French for hope. Okay. Thank you. I mean, maybe that's what it stands for, potentially. We need to find out. If the Starving Camels make it into Code S, we need to ask them. 100%. Esperanza, baby. Esperanza. Alright, as we are getting into our drop across the map, we do have just a handful of units, a bit of a kitchen sink here. Cyclone, Widowmine, and 2 Reapers do get into the mineral line. Good target firing out of BattleB. BattleB does shut down that Widowmine ahead of time. Boys are being pulled. Clutch repair here from our German Terran. And he will hold. Very nice defense. Clean repair there, and he does defend his mineral line. At the same time, he's going for his own drop across the map. The Cyclones are coming in. There we go, 2 Cyclones in the main base. Pick up the Marine. Oh, the Auto Turret barely out of range here, not able to protect the mineral line. And with that, we got 2 more SCV kills. And could we get more than that? Not quite. As BattleB has to pick up and get the hell out of there. So far, though, our blue Terran player is able to keep up. Ooh, even takes down one of those Cyclones. Yeah, so far we are keeping up with each other. Our blue Terran even going for the intercept, and he will get a couple of hits in. So let's force it back, and we do catch that medevac. Oh my God! Barely does escape. It's on a slither of HP. One more shot is all we need, and it does barely get away. Behind this, though, BattleB is working on a 3rd CC, so BattleB working towards a longer game. Likewise, our blue Terran throwing down its own 3rd on location. So we're in for a longer one. Okay. No big 2-base pushes, no 2-base all-ins. We are settling in towards a longer game. As the game will settle from here. Now we're done with the early game aggression with Cyclones. We're getting into tank production. Disable Indifference Matrix has been researched here from the Ravens. For the Ravens. Espoir is pushing out. Does push out for a moment here, just trying to establish his own 3rd base. Bullying back the army of BattleB. To have a drop poised to go into the main. Ravens is still amassing. BattleB, I'm sure, is soon to take his own 3rd. As the drop does slip into the main base, but we have Cyclones in position. BattleB will sort this away. Espoir going for that natural. I'm okay with containing. I don't think we should try to force the issue. Like, honestly, all that our blue Terran has to do is contain our opponent to 2 bases as long as we can. Remember, he has his 3rd base behind this. He's freely mining, has the better economy, has the more efficient mining. We are playing with fire right now. Oh, he's going in. He's crazy. We don't need to. We don't need to, Papi. We don't need to. As both players are standing off against each other. Staring each other down. Ravens are pushing forward. We'll see who blinks first. Who will pull the trigger? We're setting up for a drop. Oh, BattleB sneaking out with his Marines. Going for a triple drop across the map. And Espoir is going to pull back. Thankfully, he's coming back home. Again, there was no need to try to force the issue. We can see BattleB unloading right outside of his third. It looks like he was setting up for a surround. And it looks like he was getting ready to collapse on the army. Thankfully, our blue Terran player did make it back home safe and sound. Did make it. Radical's BattleB Battle Booty. Oh, I don't feel comfortable saying. Isn't BattleB like 15 years old? It's yeah, he's not that young, but he's one of the younger players out there, right? Yeah. Not like this. I'm checking. He's like 20, right? Yeah, he's 21. He's 21. I remember when he was still a teenager. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. Here we go. BattleB going for the drop here into the natural. Does unload it. He's going to get some SCVs. Not bad. A couple of workers are going down. BattleB pushing right through the center. And Espoir, is he in position? Does have a decent spread of tanks. Let's catch out a couple of Marines. Ooh, the drop is cleaned up, but we need the Ravens on the front lines. Espoir needs to bring everything together. There are the disables. 1, 2, 3 tanks at disables. Good to auto targets as well. And BattleB, he's breaking through. Is going to break on through. Massive the counter disable though. But there's no follow-up. We'll disable the tanks, but the disable, it's going to run out. Again, Espoir just was out of position. Not where he needs to be, not in time. And BattleB, he's snowballing out of control. Took a massive fight, so now he can keep on pushing towards that third. Yeah, we are committing. We are pushing in. I mean, there is still a line of tanks. We have to respect it. There is still a line of 3 tanks. The BattleB's edging ever closer. Yeah, he is within range. Big tank belly's going up. Tanks are going down. BattleB is racing back home with his bio army, getting ready for any kind of drop harass. Reading his opponent quite well. And Espoir, he has to back off. Does lift up. Does get the hell out of there. And BattleB, he's just snowballing out of control at this point. His advantage is just too great. He's got a solid economy, still maintains most of his tanks, retained his Ravens as well, more importantly. Does have those Ravens. Big anti-armor missile here on the Marines, and you can see the army melt for the blue Terran player. Ay. And GG gets called. There's just not enough here to hold on, and BattleB takes game number. Then he forces the ace match for the Starving Camels. And here we go in the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom left-hand corner, we do have Espoir for the Starving Camels. In the top left, we do have for Berserker eSports, BattleB. Let's go. Let us go. So we are going to be settling into this. So far, keeping our eye on our players. No SCVs out on the map. No Raxes are being sent out, unfortunately. So no proxies. Getting into our standard openers. And yeah, Berserker, especially with their new lineup, I mean, they're looking poised to make it into Code S. It does feel like their lineup has, or their roster has leveled up quite a bit here with the additional players like DNS, like GunGFuBanDa. I want to say they had some other pickups. Let me just double check. No, yeah, those are their biggest pickups. DNS and GunGFuBanDa. In addition to what they already had, like BattleB, Mixu, Dimaga, Foxer, Bappy. Oh, Bappy. Oh my god. When are they bringing him out? Let's go. But Berserker, now they're a force to be reckoned with. And they might be poised to qualify, to make it into Code S. Again, we'll have to have a bit of a gander at some of these other Code A teams. See how they fare. We'll be getting into it. We'll be getting in. But now it is going to be a double gas opener once again from both players. With a double gas opener, it's going to be for faster factories, delayed command centers. Last game, it did just lead into early game cyclone harassment. Went up to 2-3 cyclones. We're very much so in front of each other's faces, or in each other's faces. And I imagine we're going to be heading in that direction once again as well. As both players are expanding on location. Are taking their naturals. Behind this, we're getting into our 1-1-1. Okay, so BattleB is going for the same build. Same build so far, getting into his 1-1-1, getting into early game cyclone production. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but our blue Terran player, Espoir, did go for some Hellions instead. Did go for some Hellions. We have the Tech Lab on the way. Are we going for an add-on swap? I'm curious. As Reapers dip in, we do delay the command center. We do slow it down. Good pickoff. Good pickoff so far. We're pulling back. It looks like it is not going to be an add-on swap. It's going to be the Tech Lab on that factory for earlier tank production. Very interesting. So a much more defensive style here out of Espoir. I say that, my apologies. He's going into an earlier tank, but we're also going for a medevac. We are poised for a tank drop. Oh boy. Risky move here. From our starving camel. Let's see if he can pull this off. As the tank has arrived, so as the medevac, he should be moving out. Likewise, BattleB getting into his own cyclone drop. Is getting into his own cyclone drop instead. Here we go. The first tank is sharking around. And we do manage to get on top of this depot at least. Hellion does fall. Cyclone's getting ready to collapse in this position, and we do manage to take down one of the Cyclones. But the Marines are going down, and BattleB, he's going to clean this up. Nice control, nice juggling there with the Cyclones. He could even try to chase down that medevac. Doesn't go for it. But a good defense. Now, thankfully, the tank was saved, so we're able to race back home with it. Would have been a brutal loss there for Espoir. Does get away. Espoir? Maybe. As we are going to be threatening a drop in towards the main. We can see that there are plenty of tanks in position, and we're going to be able to force BattleB away. No big losses, but we get a free scout. Not bad. Do manage to get that free scout here. Third CCs are on the way. The game is going to be kind of settling from here. BattleB does have an abundance of Cyclones just for map control. We're getting into tank production. And I believe our red Terran player does have the tank lead. When I say that, I mean like up maybe one, maybe two tanks. So we may be able to rely on that as the game does progress. But now Stim on the way, getting to our double E-bays. So bio tank from both players. No one is embracing mech, thankfully. No mech here, not this time. We saw plenty of mech in EBT Asia tonight. We're done, but we're done for now. We've had enough mech. As yeah, this third base has been quite common here. Whenever we load into Amphion. Here, if we expand towards the left-hand side, it is a much more secure base to take. Yes, you do have to mine through those mineral patches, but once you gain access to that area, it is so much more difficult for your opponent to really punish this location. So a much more safer third base from BattleB. It also does give you a bit of a launch pad to push towards your opponent. Ooh, Meteorite drop is denied. And the Vikings looks like they may spot that third base. Oh, the Raven! Ooh, the Raven does go down. Big pick off there by BattleB. Very nicely done. We do pick off the Raven. Vikings do get eyes on the third. And can we do anything about it? Can we try to punch that third base? Spar moving out. He is spotted by the Cyclones. All bleeding out some of these Vikings. 2 Vikings go down. Oh. BattleB picking Espar apart here. These Cyclones, they've done so well for themselves. Getting a Raven and 2 Vikings. Rest of the army getting in position. Again, the tank count is heavily in favor here of the Blue Terran, but it may not even matter. Yeah, we're chasing this back, forcing a siege. We do force a siege, and we have to race back home. BattleB just picking him apart. And again, even though Espar had more tanks than his opponent, doesn't even matter. Unable to make use of them. And that's where the Ravens come in. Let's say they do survive. BattleB trying to find a better angle of attack. Spark trying to keep up, going for his own double jump across the map instead. So is BattleB. Uh-oh. The drops, they might come across each other here. So they are headed in the same direction. Espar, he does unload first. Oh. Is spotted. Quick reaction out of BattleB, does pull away. Does unload. Does manage to unload in time. Does defend. And good movement from our red Terran player. Does manage to keep up. Likewise is pushing out towards the left hand side. Is forcing back that drop. And we do manage to get the disables off. Big disables coming in here. 3, 4, 5 tanks do get caught. And BattleB, he's just pushing his way towards that third base. Is within range. Another tank goes down. And at the same time, triple jump into the main. We're just pulling Espar apart. He cannot keep up. Can't be the production. Focusing down those add-ons. This drop is going to be dealt with. Is going to be forced back. But the tanks at the same time, they denied the third. They forced it to be lifted. Oh, and even here, this is a brutal trade for the Blue Terran player. Oh my god! I mean, we had even upgrades, but it looks like that's why it took him a little bit too long for them to kick in. A very efficient trade from BattleB. And he's still here. He's still getting more damage done. And again, the Starving Camels, they did so well here in this Team League match. Tying up in those previous matches, but here Espar, in his debut in WTL, is having a hard time keeping up with the likes of BattleB. Going for a Doom Drop, going for a Hail Mary play. He's going to be sending it right through the center, going for the production line, going for the natural. And the boys are being pulled. That is a lot of tanks. But this is everything we had left, and we have plenty to deal with this. Yeah, BattleB, he's overwhelming these tanks. Cleans up the army. And that's all we had left. We have a Liberator harassing the main base. Third is still denied. GG gets called, and BattleB takes the series 2-0. And Berserker eSports win the match 4-2. GG. GG, well played. BattleB did clean it up here for his team, was able to close it out for Berserker. But a big shout out to, I mean, all the players that competed here tonight. TooDming, GunGFuBanDa, Silky, and DNS, they all tied up 1-1. They were all even with each other. And this was the debut of Espar. Again, he is not a notable player. I was checking, we haven't seen him compete in many, if any, online events before. So this may be his first foray into competitive play. I do wish him the best. I do wish him the best. And the reality is that the Starving Camels, without their ace players, without Firefly, without Cyan, it's going to be difficult to break into WTL again, into Code S. It is going to be difficult. Not impossible. Silky and TooDming really have to step up. They really have to step up and make up for their lost Protoss players. We'll see. We'll see if they can pull it off in the coming days, in the coming week of Code A. Meanwhile, we're going to be going on a short break when we return ClubNV versus Team Gosu. Let's go. Again, it's going to be a short break. I believe Mia is going to be featured here as well. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Players like Mia, players like, I imagine, Rocker, Maples, maybe Reaper as well, up against ClubNV, who of course recently picked up Dongregu. DRG, I believe, has joined the ranks of ClubNV alongside Creator, alongside Mondo, and Quanta. It's going to be a banger of a match. Let's go. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes for our second and last best of 7 of the night. See you soon.